Alright, this is gonna be one of the most forgettable animes I've had to deal with in a while, or in the past couple of weeks. Literally, I waited the same amount of time that I did with Sword Art Online, and I can't remember half of the stuff inside this, because it's not that much a memorable anime. You remember the name and the characters, how they look, but you won't remember the names, you won't remember what happens within the seasons. And it's just a boring anime, a boring type of anime at the moment. I'd like to see what they have planned for what they want to do in the future with it, but it could change. Could just be the first two seasons. It's boring animes. like part like some animes do have within their seasons or their series. I know there's a couple animes out there like that have that unfortunate bit where they won't have anything getting their watches going. In fact, there's a couple things that I think that get the watches going that aren't related to the storyline, if you know what I mean. Alright, now let me just go on to explain that some of the anime is good, but some is terrible. Like, the storyline, sometimes it just repeats itself. And that will be said by the way how the female, I've forgotten her name completely, the one that just popped up on my screen with the red hair, or the red and yellow hair, I think it was. She'd always say to the main character to keep his emotions in check, because if he doesn't, then he's going to act out and his powers are going to act out in a way that could endanger the others. She repeats that a couple or multiple times throughout the series, within a couple episodes maybe, and he's already known what he's got to do. He's just taking his time to do it because getting powers, I'd imagine it's demon size or like the king of demons basically would be pretty hard to get used to and accustomed to. So I do get the fact that he's got to get his powers into check, but they could have done that just by doing a little time gap where they jump ahead like a week, maybe 2 weeks, like some animes do, in order to pass the boring time in the anime series. But in that I can't even, within that season, or as I'd like to say, just a bunch of filler episodes. Like when an anime gets told they need 24 episodes, but they only have planned 22, so they prolong an episode or two so it can reach their needed, needed, what's the word? Needed acquisition or choice? I don't think acquisition quite fits it, but this anime has the red hair girl with the yellow like ends, and I'm pretty sure most of us guys, if you're watching guys, the only interesting thing about her is what's shown, not what's told. I feel so terrible about saying that. And in saying that, I'm going to also say the same thing for a couple other characters, like the girl that the main character, that I still can't remember. I think his name was Rin. I think his name was Rin. He helped her before she found out that it was a demon. Like, you can't remember anything about her unless you really think about it. And all I can tell you off the top of my head right now, when I'm recording this, is that she was in a flower garden when they first met, and she couldn't really walk too well because of the demon that somehow made it through the magical barrier, or through the grass, whichever way you want to think about it, and attacked her legs, or it was feeding through her legs, like it did with her grandma. I think she's the only real one I could memorize where they first met. I can't really say anything about his classmates, although I do know his classmates had their temple that was attacked by the demon, aka Rin's biological father or whatever, however you want to look at it. Rin's and his brother's actual father, years ago, like a decade or so ago, when they're little, which is why his school friends want to defeat the demon so long, but Satan so much, which is understandable if you was to witness that type of thing going on. And then they go on to hate Rin for just having those powers. If they would actually pay attention to the fact that the guy is willing to learn how to control his powers, would be the better thing. Because that was kind of ticking me off. And then one of the scenes where the guy was basically turning his back on his father really pissed me off. And then Rin gets fucking disciplined for him not wanting his friend to make that same mistake that he made before his adoptive father, or however you want to say it, left him, basically. How it ended. Which is kind of understandable, because when you end things on a sad note, you don't want to end it on a sad note. But sometimes you do, you don't mean to, but time just goes, and nature just goes in a weird way. I would say that kind of did relate with me at the moment, since I've not been speaking to my father very much with family issues, so that was kind of getting me like, into it a little bit more just for that episode or 2 episodes maybe. I would say this book of the Blue Exorcist or the manga is definitely gonna be the better side of the series, because this one I finished in like a day or maybe two, or I could have finished in a day or two. I think I tried to prolong it, because I try and prolong the anime series if I do get somewhat attached to them at the time. Like, I want something to watch and I don't want to just finish it in one day or one session. I'll try and prolong it throughout like a week, maybe two. Like I do when I'm trying to record these podcasts for you guys. I try and prolong it because I want to do it more often. But at the same time, I don't want to do it as often, because then the anime could be sad and then I will be sad. I will have to say I do watch a lot of AMV, and if you guys don't know what AMV is, it's animated music video. Well, I think that's what it sounds like. Let me just Google that. As I do, I'll talk about some of the other things that I'd like to say about this. Is Rin's brother. That's all I'm gonna say, basically, is Rin's brother. Rin's brother is difficult. He's a difficult character to understand, because we don't know too much, or we know enough, but it's not enough to get you hooked on the character in general. Which does happen in some animes, as far as people have told me, and I assume. I'm not the most well-known anime person to be watching multiple animes and then being able to tell you guys it, but he was just I don't know, it's harder to get attacked or attracted to his character because there wasn't much put into him. Like, we had a background, we had a storyline and all that, but it didn't feel meaningful. Now, I don't know if that's just because of the dubbed voice actor or just the animation where they didn't want to make it seem meaningful or the storyline. But sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Just in this series it did. And you kind of feel it. Game. Alright, so AMV I was really close with. It actually stands for Anime Music Video, a type of video edited by fans which mixes anime footage with popular music. Which is why I love it so much, because they tend to get spot on with the songs that should go with the anime. Another thing that I did hate about this is the fact that the main evil villain is in plain sight, and although you got that girl with the red and yellow hair, still can't remember any names. She had her suspicions about the guy, but no one else did? That's kind of bullcrap. Like, the guy's always there at the end of the fights, or at the end of the disasters, and yet no one's questioning why he isn't there sooner or why he isn't there to supervise the kids whilst they're out on their special retreats. And yes, he is a headmaster of the whole school or whatever you want to say, but these are special kind because they're the Exorcists, and he's not showing his attention why. I know he's a demon himself, but he can still show the attention to not make it look so goddamn fucking obvious that he's the bad guy. And just have our completely good characters be fucked off because the lazy screenwriting that they didn't want to do with putting the bad guy more secretly looking as a good guy. It's basically they made it seem like it was a big old slap in the face with the smartness of the character, of the main character and his friends. And boy, it is fucking cold in the UK right now. Some things I did like about this anime was the animation style with the blue fire that they was using. Not only just like within the outside of the guy's body represent the powers, but the inside stuff with the lights and all that. Or the eyes, not lights. Why did it say lights? Like we're fucking powered by batteries or something. But it's also some of the other stuff was the katana that they used for the blade. It's one of the strongest blades that they have in that world. Which makes sense, because it's got to deal with the demon-sized power that the kid can hold. But it's also confused me why isn't anyone trying to make a backup katana for Rin's brother? Because we see that Rin's brother does have some demon power, although it has to be kicked on by his demon father at sometimes, or by some bad guys. But if you guys see where I'm getting it from, I'm just like, they should have a backup plan. If they don't like the initial plan with Rin being the guy to save him, get Rin's brother. But they don't want to make that into it, as far as I know. This is only like talking from the second season or so, which is on Netflix. Once again, I watch all my animes on Netflix unless I can't find a good anime that I've been wanting to watch like Spy Family. High School DxD is a possibility, but not a liability. A couple others, to be honest, but I can't remember on the top of my head. I use this wallpaper app on my phone, and if I just scroll through and I see something that I like, I will take a screenshot of that anime name, and then I will try and watch it at some point. Another one of the animes I do want to see is April. Although it's not April quite literally right now, but I want to see that anime because it's sad. And then I might report back to you guys what I like about it and what I hate about it. With that all being said though, it's the end of this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast this week or today, this month. I don't know how often these podcasts will be because sometimes I just put them off because I could be tired or I don't feel like doing a recording today, even if it's just a voice recording. I'm not necessarily feeling up to it. But if you guys are going to support me on things like my Instagram, that's well wanted. I should leave a photo up on my Instagram. I will also leave a photo of my Discord server that I've been working on my own. This isn't anything to do with my GTA 5 roleplay stuff. This is just my community Discord channel that I'm making for you guys. It was going to be a 100 subscriber special thing where I'd make a Discord where we can all chill out. There's events, like event channels, things like that. Journal channels, music channels, you name it. The only thing is I won't be adding bots until I get a PC. So I will leave photos of that up on my screen right here. And if I can, I will try and put in the comments section for you guys to check out. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Mr. Ride's podcast of The Blue Exorcist.